Hi, my name is Chaim Hershkop. I drive bus 470 for Beis Rivka. I drive Head Start 3 to 4-year-old girls. And the reason I became a bus driver, well, it's actually not so hard. My brother Gadi, who doesn't know Gadi, everyone knows Gadi, and when I was learning smicha, he offered me, one day he offered me to perhaps I should make a license, and once in a while I'll drive the bus if somebody needs a substitute. And the next thing you know, here I am driving. I'm going into my 4th year of driving the bus. Baruch Hashem, I like my job, I love it. I love dealing with the parents, the children, and hopefully they feel the same way. A short story, in the first summer I was driving, I was walking with my brother Gadi, and every time we'd pass by, the children would wave, Chaim, Gadi, Chaim, Gadi. And Gadi tells me one day, what do they want already? What every time we could pass by 100 times with the same excitement? So I said, you don't understand, Gadi. For them, we're like the fireman, the policeman. We're their heroes. Who knows why? We just drive their bus, we take them, but we're like that. If you could just go out of yourself and just pick up your hands and wave and smile, you'll make these kids' day. No matter how you feel, just do it. And it's a simple thing, and that's my attitude. No matter how I feel in the morning, this morning I came back from a flight, last afternoon, and I'm not in a mood sometimes. I didn't have milk for my coffee or whatever it is. I say, Chaim, just put yourself aside, do it for the kids. I take my mic, good morning, Meidalach. Everyone, I teach them to say back, good morning, Chaim, and how are you doing this wonderful, beautiful, amazing day. And I teach them to say Baruch Hashem, which is very important, to teach them that already now. I even in the recent years, since I got married, and you have to make phone calls to the electric company and the gas company and all these different things. How are you doing, sir? You say, thank God. You could hear the smile over the phone. It's very important to have that attitude and to teach that to the kids. Safety is our #1 priority, and it starts even much before we pick up our first child. I make it a point to come on the bus at least a half an hour before, in the winter, sometimes even before, to check the outside, the exterior of the bus, under the bus, around the bus, make sure there's no leaks, and on the bus itself to make sure the bus starts and it's running, to make sure all the signals are working, even the doors opening. That could be a danger to the children if the door just gets stuck or doesn't open in the middle of the ride. Of course, the yellow signals and the red signals are very important for me, for the children, for the parents, and the other drivers in the street. Yellow signal is to warn warn drivers and even parents the bus is coming, the bus is about to stop. They should get ready to stop. Don't try to beat the bus. It's not worth it. Another 30 seconds, you wait. There's a child coming on the bus, not loading on boxes of furniture, and the child's life could be in danger. Even the bus, if God forbid you run into the bus. The red lights means you stop, just like a stop sign. Just wait there until we shut the red lights off. And even then, don't try to pass by the bus. Give the bus a moment or two to get back onto the road, to get started again, and make sure the driver realizes that you're right there, and I have to be careful to make sure, and you have to be. It's a partnership. We're all in this together. We all share the road, and we're all driving big machines. I find that a lot of people don't even realize this, that they're driving a machine, and they're not so comfortable and they're not so careful. And one of the lessons my father taught me when we were getting our license was that when you get into a car, you should feel like you're getting into a suit. You have to be comfortable in it. You have to feel like this is part of you. This is an extension of who you are. So, getting a little spiritual, I say that the ultimate sign of Ahavas Yisrael you can find in the way someone's driving. If he's considerate, if he cares. Now, it also means, it doesn't. Some people think Ahavas Yisrael could mean you stop when you're supposed to go and let someone cross and Chashon make a short stop and so on. That's not Ahavas Yisrael. Ahavas Yisrael means keep to the laws, everyone do what you gotta do, and be considerate just of everybody around you. And just like in a car, you gotta put a zone of safety around your car. Also, in the street, you have to look out a little, have a zone, an eye for it. You can help another Jew, you can help another person, anybody. That's what you do. I tried to bring a little of what I was talking about of myself onto the bus, and that's why I have here pictures of my family, also to give the kids a feeling of home, of family. I'm also a tati of Baruch Hashem of 2 wonderful children, a boy and a girl, Itchy and Bella, and a husband of my beautiful wife Chani. And the kids come and they have this feeling of they're not just getting on to this guy who's taking them to school. I'm like become, I guess, like an uncle figure to them, and it makes them feel really good and really safe. I also have on the bus some different signs, Divrei Torah, or words of chizuk for even the older people that sometimes I take the older classes on the bus. I have here a sign even of the Yom Yom. You know, some people ask me like, okay, we understand all the other things. Well, how often do you pass by water and you have to have a sign that with the Yom Yom of when you pass by water, the Baal Shem Tov says Siman Bracha. But that comes with a story. I was driving, before I drove for Beis Rivka, I drove for Wien in Williamsburg, and going on a trip one day, taking 6th and 7th graders, we passed by on the Verrazano Bridge, and I was thinking, oh, if only I would have remembered that Yom Yom of passing over water. But unfortunately at camp they only said it in English, and I wasn't prepared for Yiddish. But when we got to the trip, I did have a chitas, so I opened it up and I wrote it on a little piece of paper, and on the way back I handed it over to the Mora. The Mora looks at it, examines it, sees that it's kosher, and she asks all the girls to be quiet, and she repeats over. And all the girls start to yell it again and again till I'm like, okay, once is enough. 3 weeks later, I take another group of girls. This time I was already prepared. And we go on the bridge, I start to say it, all of a sudden all the girls start to yell, Mrs. So-and-so already came to our class and taught us this saying. And they started to scream it and yell it with excitement. So right away I went and I made these signs. I put it on all their buses, and obviously when I came to work in Beis Rivka, I put it here. What the sign reminds me is that, you know, if you know Aleph, like the Rebbe taught us, you know Aleph, teach Aleph. Whatever you know, give over. You don't have to be a Talmid Chacham, you don't have to be a genius. Just give over a little something, and you never know how it will go down the chain and how it can affect somebody. Okay, one thing I'm very, very conscious about is the fact that the child's day, your child's day, starts with me on the bus. I am their first person out of the house that they get to see. I am the first experience out of the house. So I try to make that as enjoyable as possible. One of the things that I do is the music. It's very important for me and for the girls too. I even put together a special playlist for the girls and for the Yom Tovim, and depending on what's coming up, even a Shabbos mix I have that I start playing already Thursday afternoon. And I even, so far every year I've been giving out to the parents this bus mix of mine. A child's first experience in school starts on the bus. As a bus driver, it's not just my responsibility to physically get them to school and back. It's also my responsibility to start off their day, and a good morning and a smile does go a long, long way. A message I would give my parents is that although your child may come home and say how we flew today to Yerushalayim or we subbed into the ocean, tell you a little secret, we don't really do that. So please be waiting on time, and see you tomorrow morning.